Hey everybody, it's Friday. You know what that means, the Overtime Sports Show with AB and G-Man in the building. What's up,
What
my
up, man?
brother?
I'm excited. I'm happy, bro. March Madness is here. It's
Yes,
Friday.
sir.
Some upsets already in the tournament. We're going to talk about all that and hopefully some more upsets to come.
Yeah, it's been crazy so far, and we want you to interact with us. Be sure to share, like, and comment in the comment section because we want to get your opinion on all the hot topics that have happened in H-Town this past week. And as you say, the tournament is on, and you know, G-Man, I got to start with my crew, my school, Texas
Yep.
Southern University, baby. You know, we in the tournament, baby.
Third ward. Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir. All right, Texas Southern came off a big win over Mount St. Mary's to get into the 64, and they're going to take on Michigan. So, you know, I thought we would bring on the voice of Texas Southern men's basketball, the one and only, the chatterbox, Larry Hale, to tell us what's going on. He's inside the bubble right now. What's going on, chatterbox?
Hey, brother, how you doing? Thanks for having me on the show. Overtime, it's very unique. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man. I know you're actually in the bubble right now, so you guys are isolated. You can't do too much, but just go to the hotel room and wait for the next game to be played.
Yeah, if you don't believe it, ask those 6 referees that checked in and then left and went to get something to eat, and they weren't able to come back to the bubble. But it's very unique. It's a very unique situation. A lot of players that you see walking up and down the floors, escalators, elevators. Every team has its own floor, and everyone has their own room due to the social distancing situation. So everyone has meeting rooms where they meet, their own meeting room. That's where the meals are brought to. That's where they meet, do film and things of that nature. So it's pretty much isolated. We have to test for COVID every day.
Wow.
We test twice on game days. So it's pretty much, you know, your name and your birthday, just like they ask you every morning, every day. Name, date of birth. It's like Larry Hale. You know, it's like you just it's very repetitious, but I like the way that the NCAA is keeping everyone safe and there's no outbreaks.
Yeah. Chatterbox, real quick, I gotta ask you, man. I know you watching all the games, the boys are watching it, man. What y'all think about the upset earlier from Ohio State losing to Oral Roberts, man? I know that had to have been a big big boost to some of the lower seeds who people aren't getting no chance, you know?
Yeah, some of the lower seeds that they don't get a chance, don't get a chance to see them much. But for them to come on a stage like this and beat a vaunted team like this, like Ohio State, man, that's huge. And that's huge for the program. And that helps you recruit. And a lot of teams have gotten better over the years because they deal with a lot of D1 transfers. Why would I go somewhere to one school and ride the bench for 4 years when I can go somewhere else and become a superstar and shine and get my numbers and then possibly go make some money somewhere else down the line? So that's the mindset and the thinking of nowadays. And former Texas Southern head coach Mike Davis changed that a lot by using the D1 transfers. I remember Marvin Jones averaged 1 point a game, 1 minute a game, and you come to the Southwestern Athletic Conference and you're all defensive player and you're overseas making some money, and he wound up averaging 17 points a game when he left TSU. And you think about it, it's not about playing the big boys, because if you're HBCU, you're going to get the money games in the beginning anyway. So your first 13 games are going to be head kickers. But what you do against those big boys gets you ready for the tournament and your conference tournament.
Man, I'm excited about the tournament because TSU has already defeated Mount St. Mary, but I got to roll back because we defeated Prairie View for the title, in which we wasn't the number 1 seed. So now we got a big game coming up. But talk about how TSU got here on this 10-game winning streak.
Well, we came in as the number 3 seed into the Southwestern Athletic Conference tournament. First of all, we beat Pine Bluff in the quarterfinal. Then we took Jackson State to overtime and had to beat them. Thanks to Michael Weathers, the weatherman, by the way, transferred from Oklahoma State, bad boy. And then we beat a Prairie View team who beat us twice that season at home and away. So we were like, nah, we're not going to let PV beat us 3 times. There's no way in hell we're going to let Prairie View beat us 3 times. And we beat them when it mattered the most. And it was on Championship Saturday. And after the game, we jumped on the flight. We jumped on a charter flight and headed straight to the bubble. And this is where we've been. So it's a great atmosphere. A lot of, the camaraderie with the teams. They're wishing everybody luck, especially the lower seeds. Wishing everybody luck. I saw the big guy from Iowa, Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a big dude, man. And
yeah.
I said, man, I got a 65-inch at home. And I said, do you know you feel every inch of that television up? And he just bust out laughing. So you get to speak to people that you don't normally get to put your hands on every day. It's not a lot of interaction. It's just hello, goodbye. Like I saw Rick Pitino on yesterday, the day before yesterday, and Bob Huggins. Today I was getting on the elevator. But it's just a great experience. And it feels great that Texas Southern kicked it off on yesterday. After no college basketball tournament for a whole year. It just feels great to be a part of this March Madness. And these kids that we have, they just don't want to go home. G-Man, they don't want to go home.
I got to ask you, I know you're in the bubble, and I know how the NBA had the bubble last year playoffs. Do they have the same for y'all as far as places to eat, things to do on your downtime, or is it just all in the room, practice? I mean, what goes on in the bubble? Do they have things for y'all?
Well, they leave the room to go to practice. And we have like a baseball field across the street. As a matter of fact, the JW Marriott is right next to the NCAA headquarters. Mm-hmm. So they have like a baseball field and that you can go out and stretch. I saw some players playing badminton out there. They were kicking the that soccer ball around, just getting a little fresh air. But the weather's been kind of rainy and snowy because we are in Indianapolis. So the weather's like 37 degrees. And by me being a native Houstonian, I run from that kind of weather. And my buddy, my frat brother, Alonzo Giles, he's the video guy. We started together 21 years ago. He said, man, let's go outside and get some fresh air. I said, man, I'm not going out there. You see all that ice on those trees? No, I'm not going out there. No.
Yeah.
No way.
He said, give your perspective from inside the bubble, in the room. Yeah, that's why we're in this bubble. Yeah,
inside the bubble. I'm not going outside.
I got to put you on the bubble right now. We got a big game. It's top seed Michigan tomorrow. The Tigers taking on Juwan Howard's squad, the Michigan Wolverines. Chatterbox, what's our chances, man? This is put it on the table.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Texas Southern has a very good chance because we match up with them physically, and they have not played a game. So they're still trying to find themselves. They've been trying to find themselves the last 5 or 6 games before, even though they won the tournament, they're still trying to find themselves. We know who we are. So in our minds, it's not just us playing, we're playing the Wolverines, we're playing Big Blue. No, we're playing guys that puts their shorts on the same way we do. And remember, we beat big teams before. So this is nothing new. This is what I mean when I say the first 13 games of the season, you have a schedule where you play the big guns. So when you get in this situation, you're not starstruck, you're not a deer in the headlights because, hey, I just played you guys or talent level to you guys a couple months ago. So let's go. And now you're on a national stage, so the game is not going to be that slanted because everyone and their mom's looking.
Yeah. So I do got to ask, do you feel like the boys are a little starstruck? Not so much starstruck, but maybe big program struck? Maybe, or they got the heads on, say, it's all, like you said, they put the shorts on like we do. We're going to go play ball 5-on-5. You feel like that's how they feel right now? They're not looking at Michigan as, man, that's Michigan playing, you know?
But see, when you look at it, we got Michael Weathers, who transferred from Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. We've got Galen Alexander, who transferred from Georgetown. So we have players that have been in those big programs before. So those are the guys that are saying, hey, everything's going to be okay. And it's a confidence booster to us because if we knocked out Mount St. Mary's, and Mount St. Mary's was a great basketball team. They have a great little guard, a 5'8" guard, and they had some post players. But for us, in order for us to stay, Michigan is in our way. And if we want to stay, we've got to take care of Michigan, the Wolverines, hail to the victors. We got to send them to where we're going if we want to stay. And just like G-Man, I was talking to you and AV about the transfers. That's what changes the game.
Right.
Right now in college basketball, and now they're doing it in football. It's about the transfers with the D1 experience that comes to a program like Texas Southern or Prairie View or Jackson State that already have that mindset of playing on the big stage. So this is nothing new to them. Their eyes aren't like, oh, there's Luke. Oh, there's such and such. Oh, no, I just played against you guys when I was in the conference with you guys or when I was in the Big 12. So it's okay. I'm just going to have my team ready to go. And this Texas Southern team is confident. They're not worried about Michigan beating us. We want to beat Michigan.
Yeah.
We're being the aggressor. We're being the aggressor and going after Michigan. We're not going to wait for Michigan to pounce us. We're going to pounce them.
Can't wait. I'm excited. He is the voice of TSU basketball. You got to hit me with that Go Tiger before you go. You know how you got to do it. I need to hear it.
Go Tiger.
The Chatterbox. Thank you, Larry Hale. Appreciate you being on the Overtime Sports Show, my brother. Get back to eating your Cheerios now.
Good luck to TSU, man.
G-Man, I saw you're my favorite guy at Radio 1, G-Man. You're my guy.
You gonna do it.
You're my main man, G-Man. That's the only reason I did this show was because you were a part of it. Not this other guy on this other screen. You.
Hey, all I'm going to say is go by Chatterbox. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Chatterbox. Hey, man.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
It's going to be great, man. I'll tell you, man, it's the tournament. I'm watching it right now. You got North Carolina and Wisconsin. I think Houston starts, in a couple, 2 minutes. Everybody
we got
U of H.
Yeah, we kick off. Shout out to the U of H ladies basketball team. They're losing by 7 points right now in the NIT against San Francisco, but we're going to win. I'm excited about U of H. They're playing, of course, as you said, in a couple of minutes. Exciting game tonight for the Cougars, who are coming off the AAC championship title. And you see my man right here. He's going to ball out tonight. It's going to be on. I'm predicting the Cougars going to win this. I predicted that the Cougars can actually make it to the Final Four.
What did you see? I don't know if you saw the presidential bracket. Barack Obama.
I saw that, man.
He has the Cougars making it to the Elite Eight, but losing to
Illinois. Yeah. This is the first time I disagree with the former president. You notice I put the former president on that. I had to because I was like, come on, Fred, you got to roll with Houston. We've been good to you, but we got Cleveland State tonight, and they're going to take on Cleveland and defeat them, so we're going to be excited about that. All I got to say is go Cougs. Go Third Ward. Third Ward is representing, man. It's on and popping.
Hey, man, y'all watching the Overtime Sports Show brought to you by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. And, man, speaking of Hennessy, man, they sponsor the NBA Minute that we have every day on the radio, man. So let's talk a little bit of NBA real quick. Now, the Lakers did win last night. And, Kyle Kuzma, he said he went out and said, you know what, LeBron won 8 MVPs already. What you think about that, AB?
Man, listen, I know he says the NBA is a very political award. Bron should have been the MVP at least 8, 9, 10 times. Yeah. Everybody knows that. Listen, man, I don't know because, James Harden, when he was a Rocket, I felt like that year after he won the MVP in 17, he should have got it the next year. But they gave it to Giannis, so he got robbed. We can have that debate all day. Of course, being the player that LeBron is, he could win it every year, statistic-wise. But I think for me, the MVP is an overall award about how you make your team better. Not only just how many points you score, but how you can affect the game or how the game is affected by your presence or either your absence.
Yeah, and he's doing a hell of a job. And I know I know on SportsCenter they talked about him having a better year this year than he'd had 7, 8 years ago. He's playing better now than he was 8 years ago. I mean, that's kind of hard to say. The man's 37 years old, 30. He pushed. He's up there,
But what about Joel Embiid? I mean, Embiid has been balling this year. Of course, he just got injured a couple of weeks ago, but he's been balling out. I think he's the lead. For me, he's the lead candidate. I see the effect on his team being because we don't have a big man down low like we used to in the old school NBA, especially here in Houston when we had a larger one. But Joel Embiid has been affecting the game, block shots, scoring points. His just defensive effort on the court definitely making a difference for Philadelphia. So for me, I think Joel Embiid. But they say it's political, so we'll see at the end.
Yeah, NBA Minute, man, it's going down. Don't forget NBA Minute sponsored by Hennessy Never Settle and Rockets and the Pistons, man. What is it, man? I done lost count, bro. Is it 17, 18, man? 19? I done lost count, bro.
Can you believe that? This is a new franchise records of loss. But like I told you, we needed to make some trades. We need to get rid of some of these veterans on the team. We play Detroit tonight. We finally get John Wall's back. Oladipo comes back. And, of course, Daniel House just came back the other day. Plus Woods came back.
Yeah.
So, we're kind of seeing a lineup that we probably haven't seen in the last 18 games. Right. So I'm excited about that tonight. So hopefully, and y'all can comment on this as well. Share your comments with us. Hopefully they lose number 19 because I'm trying to get that top 4 pick. I want the top draft pick. I don't care if we don't win any games.
Yeah, at this point, that's what we got to shoot for, man, at this point. So, hey, man, Rocket, I'm still a Red Nation Rocket fan to the
yes.
Day, man. That's what it is.
Yes.
So, win, lose, draw. Texans to the end.
H-Town. Hey, listen, your boy PJ Tucker got traded. He pouted his way out. So he's finally got traded to Milwaukee along with Rodis and a 2022 first-round pick. And we received DJ Augustine, which is a good actual point guard. I mean, he's not starting material, but he's a good point guard. DJ Wilson, he's 6'10", kind of slender. We got these young guys. So he's another guy to add to the youth movement here for the Rockets. And then we get a first-round pick swap and a 2023 first-round pick. So I kind of like this because it's back to the youth movement, like I said. We're getting some pieces, some younger guys that we can put together. We got Martin on the team as well. So I'm excited about the moves that the Rockets are making as well as gathering picks. PJ, it was his time. He needs to go somewhere to leave. You're right. EJ, Eric Gordon needs to go next. I'm with you, sis. He got to go.
Man, you're killing me, brother. That EG, Eric Gordon, bro.
I know them all you people, man. I get you.
Yeah. All right,
but don't forget, go, baby.
Tune in to the NBA Minute every day, 2 to 7 on 97 out of the box. It's sponsored by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. The spirit of the NBA. All right.
Yes, sir. You better drink to Eric Gordon leaving, man. Take Oladipo with him.
It's not liquor, but it's water. But I'll drink to it.
Hold on. I'm pour I got my Texans cup tonight.
Speaking of Texans, oh man, look at that, man.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, Anthony
Georgia's
Edwards.
on 42 points, career high last night. He was the pride of Georgia when he came out. Did 1 year, of course, college basketball, and now he's making great strides. Congratulations to him on finally hitting his game high. I think we're going to see more of this. Now, LeBron-like, but not the LeBron type. Right. What I mean by that, he got some similarities, and I think he's going to be one of the future stars of the NBA, and I think we're going to see a major impact like this. I won't say he's going to go to many championships as LeBron, but I think he's one of the top players in the league, and 42 points last night showed why, he's the man.
All right. Man, I'm ready for this next conversation.
Uh-oh.
I'm ready for this next one, man. I'll tell you what.
Come on.
Let me take my phone over here real quick. I want to show you my wall at the station, the radio station. I got to show you the wall real quick.
Well, let me see what you got on this wall, brother.
I got to show you the wall real quick because I'm a big fan, but man, I got to show you right behind me. I don't know if you can see all this, but these are all the Texas cheerleaders all the way down my wall.
How many years is that, man?
Man, I got some of them don't have no years on them, but I know I got. Yeah. I mean, they go back a long way. Some of them don't have the years on them, but I know these. I guess will probably be able to tell us more than I can. But
because I'm jealous.
So she is definitely on here, and I can't flip my camera over, but I know she's here. I see her, and she signed my thing too. But her name is Tony Antoinette.
Tony.
Antoinette.
Antoinette. I like that.
Hey guys.
Tony, how are you?
Tony.
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. G-Man, I'm so disappointed you can't find me on here. Okay, there we go.
It took him a while, Tony. It took a while.
Well, I see you right there. And hang on. She's somewhere else up here. Hang on. She all up on this thing. So Tony,
how long were you a cheerleader How long were you a cheerleader? How many years?
I was with the Texans from 2014 to 2017.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Good times.
And she's actually been at the radio station, as you can see. She's been here when I would have the cheerleaders come up. I'd always make sure she comes up here. She's always been a friend of the show, and she always chimes in. And just a great sport. And not only a cheerleader, but she's also into other sports as well, which we're going to get into first. But as well. But let's just talk real quick Texans cheerleaders. Now, a lot of girls aspire to be how you were and what you did. What do you have to say women who are watching, it is National Women's Month. So what do you got to say to women who think that, man, I wish I could be like Tony and be like the cheerleaders? How can I do that? How can you tell people and give inspiration to girls who want to try to be what you did and how you are?
Yeah, you know what's crazy, G-Man, is that I don't have a dancing background. I didn't grow up dancing. Wow. I wasn't a cheerleader or anything like that. G-Man knows I grew up boxing. I started boxing when I was 12, but I always wanted to be a cheerleader. And I have a crazy story where I showed up like when I was in high school, my senior year, to tryouts, and the girls were giving me dirty looks like, what are you doing here? You know, because they grew up cheering together. But it was always a dream of mine. And so when, I went to the tryouts in high school, and I left those tryouts crying because the girls made me feel so bad. And so just, with Texans and stuff, I was like, I'm just going to prepare. I didn't make it the first year that I tried out. But I didn't want to give up, and that's my message to a lot of women, is that what you want to do, and don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise, because people always try to down talk you or put you in this box of what you're supposed to be or what you should be. And at the end of the day, you have that little voice in your head that tells you, no, like you can do it, you can do this. And, I tried out the second year for Texans, and then I made it. And I was so surprised because I didn't think I was going to make it, right? Texans has the biggest tryouts in the NFL. Back then, when we would try out, we would have like 1,200 girls show up, like crazy. G-Man knows.
I was a judge. I was a judge. I know.
Yes.
4 years. I was a judge. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And it was just such an amazing experience. To this day, I still stay in touch with a lot of my old teammates. We've been in each other's weddings. We actually, like a lot of us, had kids at the same time. I have a 2-year-old son. Right after Texans, I had a baby, got pregnant, and we started our lives. So you really do build like that bond, that sisterhood. And it's just a great experience. One of the things that I love about the Texans is that they always keep it, super, super classy. And we would do a lot of things in the community, represent, the Houston community, go to the Houston Food Bank, to the children's, hospital, and just do things in the community. And that's such an important part of like what we did.
Yeah, and I love it. I love the fact that you said that, because a lot of people think it's just about performing at the games, but at the end of the day, it's about the community impact, and the Texans have been great at doing that, reaching out to the community. I want to get 2 things from you. I want to go into that moment when you first got the news that you made the Texas cheerleader squad, and then that actual first game, because the Texans have over 70,000 fans, and I know we've seen the cheerleaders cheering all over the stadium, but in that moment, is there any kind of, I know you go from excitement to the first game to like fear of performing in front of so many people.
It's so crazy because you feed off of people's energy. So, you always, when my name was announced, when I made the team, I was so excited. And just the whole process, I didn't know how to do my hair. I didn't know how to do my makeup. Like I didn't know any of that. And they taught me how to do that and like just walk me through everything that I needed to do. And then the first time that I was, in the stadium and I got to be down like on the field, like the energy, that is something that I cannot describe. Like there's no words to describe how crazy it gets down there. And now I'm like spoiled. I cannot go to a game without being close up, because we were down there. You get to see firsthand like the action, everything. I mean, sometimes like we had to be careful that we wouldn't get like ran over, or hit with the ball and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Another thing too is, do you ever, whenever you're cheerleading or cheering, I know you used to hold the sign up too when they did the Houston, Texas. Did you ever look in the crowd, because people say, I'm looking at you, I'm waving at you, like look at me, but there's 70,000 people, like parents or your husband or whoever. I mean, did you ever feel like, okay, I know you're there somewhere, but I can't really just focus on the stand?
I would get so nervous because our coach at the time, she was so strict. Like in a good way, because she wanted us to make sure that we didn't mess up, that we looked good. And a little thing as simple as holding the sign, which is simple, easy. I was so nervous that I would like pick it up at the wrong time, like pick up like the Texan sign when they say Houston. So yeah, like I was always super focused, just making sure that I did it right and I didn't mess up. So yeah, I wasn't looking like out in the crowd because I would mess up and that would not be good.
And one thing too that go ahead.
Go ahead, T-Man.
No, I was gonna say I know for people that watch the games, they're thinking all the cheerleaders are on the field, but in actuality, if you could explain, because there's so many of y'all have to go into the suites as well. Some of the explain how a game they work. Who gets chosen to be on the field? How does that work?
So I think it's different now. I don't know if they rotate. They do it different every season. It just depends, right? But back then, when I was on the team, you would have tryouts. So it's like you would try out for the dance, and the best dancers were the ones that were out on the floor, like in the field. And then the rest of us would be, sometimes, doing suites, visiting people, and then it would switch. I think now they have it to where they're like rotating. So they get to see, so they don't have to see like the same people over and over again, the same cheerleaders.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought that, got confused and think that, you're a cheerleader, you're going to be on the field every game. So no, it's not really like that. But y'all do a lot of things, like you said, out of the stadium community. Y'all do a lot of things like that. So
sometimes people are surprised that there's so many cheerleaders. Like when you look at the poster, you're like, whoa, I don't see all of y'all out in the field, but they don't realize that we do other things, and it's year round, even when it's not football season, we're still doing things in the community, representing the Texans and the organization.
Now, I know got two things to come up. No, the Texans tryout. Want to talk about how people can get on the wait list, and then we got to talk about you with this kickboxing, because I'm sure you probably kicked the ex-boyfriend or two before. No, I'm just kidding.
Husband too. Husband got alive, but he can punch you uppercut. Yeah.
Yes, because you started it this young. But how can people try out for the team and then talk about the kickboxing this week?
Yeah, definitely follow the Houston Texans cheerleaders on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, and I think they have the website put up where they can go. HoustonTexans.com/HTC tryouts 2021. So you can be the first one to find out, how to register and how to try out and be part of the organization.
All right. Kickbox me one time. Hit me with it.
Now I think they're talking. He's seeing the pictures that you sent of you. But you actually start off as a boxer, right? Like
yes. Yeah, those pictures are my more recent ones. But I started boxing when I was 12 years old, a long time ago. Like a lot of like my newspaper clippings and stuff, like I started in 1999 when I started this thing. Women were not even allowed to be in the Olympics. And I'm just so proud now to see these women like Marlene Esparza from Houston, Clarissa Shields, where they've taken the sport. Because back then with us, like if you didn't turn pro by the time you were 18, you didn't do anything. You were just kind of done because you couldn't go to the Olympics. But so what I ended up doing is I have had 14, amateur boxing fights. I was a coach. I was a trainer. I've worked at, when I first started, working, I was a coach, a personal trainer at different boxing gyms. I myself had my own boxing gym at one point in Conroe. But it was, I was like doing Texans. I was doing my gym and I just couldn't keep up with everything. And it's crazy that I'm with you guys today talking about it, because here lately, a lot of people have been asking me, they're like, hey, when are you going to, start teaching again? Are you going to get back into boxing? Because some of these girls, like I was like, I'm too old. But in reality, no, like these women are in their late 20s, early 30s, still fighting. And that makes me so proud, like moms that have kids, because it's like, man, where we've come as a country, as an organization for boxing, what it represents. And so I'm excited. I might get back into it. I know that I kind of took a break. I took a break, after I had my son. But it's in your blood. Like I get so excited when I walk into a boxing gym.
those pics don't do it justice. You got to see actual videos. You see her Instagram, the videos of her boxing and punching. I'm like, good Lord.
I just want to listen, Tony.
An argument with her.
Yeah, Tony, I just want to see you kickbox G-Man a couple times.
Yeah?
That's all. Box G-Man a couple times. He always, yeah, that's what I want to see.
She'll tear me up. Yeah,
at the studio, I'm gonna show up with some boxing gloves and some hand pads, some mitts.
No, we gotta do the big gloves. We do like the celebrity boxing with the big gloves. Where I don't get hurt. You know, we don't kick my ass too bad. But real quick, you talk about Clarissa Shields. Now, the funny thing about this, not really funny, but it's a great thing. She became the first woman or men as an undisputed champion of her. Just a couple of weeks ago, she won. She's the first person ever to be the undisputed champion. I think she won all belts. And and just to think that we were in boxing, before that.
She's like 11 fights, 2 KOs, undisputed like champion in 3 different weight classes. And it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy what they've done. And even on like the MMA side. So the pictures that they shared earlier. So I've only competed in boxing, but I do know kickboxing and Muay Thai. I just have never competed in that. And so to see like where MMA, like Nunez, you know, what she recently did, and just to see these girls go out there and kill it, it's awesome to see how it's
speaking of boxing, I'm excited because I'm a big boxing fan. I do all the coverage of the fights in Vegas for the boxing, and it just announced today. I was hoping it would be in Vegas because I get to go and lose my money over there. But Canelo is going to be fighting in Dallas on May 8th with Cinco de Mayo. They usually fight Cinco de Mayo weekend, but because Cinco de Mayo falls on a Wednesday, they're going to have it on that 8th in Dallas, AT&T Stadium. You know, this guy is probably the best pound-for-pound boxer, but he's getting a lot of flack because he's not fighting, you know, some of the other guys. But people don't understand either, Tony, is that when you're in like the WBA or WBC, when they tell you have to fight this guy, it's mandatory. I mean, you have to fight that guy. It's not like you ducking anybody. So there are rules to the game when it comes to like who you got to fight.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I'm excited because it's in Dallas. I know you were like, I want to go to Vegas and stuff. But yeah, and I know that, like you said, that, you know, I guess they've been saying that he's fighting like, you know, these guys that aren't well recognized, you know, but they're champions. Yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, you have to fight. Like, to me, in my opinion, it's like you can't like not take a fight. Like, go out there, you know, do what you got to do and move on to the next one. And that's how champions are made. You can't like nitpick and say, no, I'll only fight, you know, certain people. But Canelo, he's an awesome fighter. I will always say, like, my favorite fighter of all time is Julio Cesar Chavez, you know, from Mexico, Mexican fighter.
Yeah. And he's fighting again. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I know they have all these like old boxers coming out.
So they're bringing back like when Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones. So now Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. is fighting Hector Macho Camacho in Mexico. Yeah, so they're doing like the King of the Ring. I just hope nobody dies in the damn ring. I'm just saying.
That's some old school stuff. Right there.
They got that coming up. I mean, we could talk boxing all day long, but I can't wait. But man, Tony, it's been great having you on the show. I know when I hit you at the last minute, you were like, whatever you need, I'm down. Thank you and your husband and your little boy. And you guys are always on social media. You're always posting. You're always staying up with what's going on in the Times, man. And if you're not following her, let them know how they can follow you and how they can you know, see your posts.
Thank you so much, G-Man. This reminded me of when we used to come visit you at your studio, you know, at 97.9 when I was a cheerleader. It was always an awesome time to get to hang out with you. And yeah, I have Instagram. You guys can follow me at, you know, Antonieta Osuna. And it's just my full name, Antonieta Osuna. And I'm always trying to do things in the community, you know, fashion shows, different events, you know, just supporting local businesses, artists, you know, and it's just a pleasure to be able to continue to do things in the community and just, you know, support Houston. Like we're so talented. We have so much going on in our city. So thank you for having me on the show, and you guys have an amazing evening.
Well,
You
maybe we'll
too.
see you and your family in Dallas. You and your husband come down there.
Yes.
And me and the wife will be down there. So yeah, it's gonna be a great time. So
I'm gonna hit
Put
you
them
up.
gloves on him. Put them gloves on him and kickbox him on out of here. Appreciate you, Tony. You okay?
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
All right, Tony. Thanks. Man, hey, I'm telling you, she's a badass, bro. She's a badass.
Oh, yeah.
I would not want to start a fight with her. I don't know.
She looked like
I think her husband, I think he may just be like, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah. He know how to fall in line.
You're not gonna cook me dinner today? Okay, that's fine. I'll go to dinner. Yeah, he ain't gonna argue. He's no argument with her. Nah.
Yeah, he know how to fall in line.
1-2. Yeah, man.
Yes,
Golly.
sir. Hey, listen, guys, it's the Overtime Talk Show with AV and G, man. Appreciate you commenting and sharing your thoughts. Now we got to dive into an ugly situation. The Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson. We just saw the press conference today with Tony Busby, Houston attorney, and we knew that there were one allegation turned into 3 allegations, which turned into 7, which now there are 12 allegations of sexual harassment and sexual assault at the same time. And, man, it's a sticky situation. It's a sticky situation. Tony says –
Go ahead.
Yeah, Tony Busby said it ranges from everything to forcing someone to have oral sex on him, to Deshaun kissing some of the ladies, to Deshaun forcing the ladies to put their hands on his genitals. And they said there were seven African-American women, 3 Asian Hispanic women, and then 2 Caucasian women. And he says that there could be up to 10 more that they're vetting or trying to vet right now. It's an ugly situation, G-Man. How do y'all feel about it? You got to comment on this.
Me personally, I love Deshaun Watson. I think everything he's done for this city, just been a class act. I'm having a hard time believing that. I just have a hard time believing that, I believe Deshaun Watson. I know Tony Busby is supposed to be like this, celebrity lawyer or whatever. I know he's trying to run for mayor, whatever. I think he's clout chasing. I don't know. Until it comes out and he's proven guilty, then I believe Deshaun Watson, man. And I'm going to Lefties to eat a cheesesteak tomorrow.
You going to eat a cheesesteak, Lefty?
I'm going to Lefties.
And of course, Deshaun is represented by Rusty Harden, another famed lawyer here in H-Town. And Rusty has already said they're going to make. They're waiting just for the rest of the information to come out from Tony Busby. And he says next week, as they continue to gather information, they're going to make a statement on Deshaun's behalf. Of course, the NFL is investigating. Tony Busby says not only are these civil suits, which is at the end of the day about money, and of course in Texas it's a little bit more to it, but he also says that they're going to go try to take to HPD from a criminal aspect about the situation and about the allegations as well. So it's an ugly situation. A lot of people were making conspiracy theorists about it, and they felt like the Texans were behind this. And I kind of debunked that idea, because if you're trying to trade him, a situation like this can kind of hurt his value on the open market. So it would do me no good to try to, tear your name down, and I'm still trying to trade you at the same time, because I can't get any value from you. So I can't get any value for you. So I don't buy the fact that the Texans will be behind this, even though allegedly people are thinking that this is a conspiracy theory on behalf of the Houston Texans.
And I've said it the last 2 weeks in a row, and I'm going to say it for episode 3. If Deshaun Watson is traded, I am not renewing my season tickets. Well, me and you have our own personal reasons why we, how they treated us in the press. But I've been a season ticket holder since day one. I will not spend another penny on tickets if this train wreck continues to happen. I'll still watch it. I'm still a Houston fan. I'm going to still support. As far as watching, but if somebody gives me a free ticket to the game, I'll go. I'll definitely tailgate with Code 45 tailgaters on time, La Familia tailgaters, and I would definitely do that. But as far as buying season tickets, count me out. I'll still buy merchandise, but I will not go to a game and buy tickets. I'm done.
You're not going. Sunshine, appreciate you commenting. She says they're trying to break him. And listen, part of this, because he doesn't want to be here, definitely he's already told Coach Cully that he wants out. He'll never play for the Texans again. And I think part of this, I can't wait till all of the facts, because I like commenting when all of the facts are out. I know everybody has their opinion of the situation like this because we're looking at it from two different sides. You know, we're not expecting this kind of character or behavior to come from Deshaun based upon everything we've seen from him since he's been drafted and playing for the Houston Texans. He's been an upstanding guy. Matter of fact, he dates somebody that's very close to members of the church I attend. So you don't expect this to happen, but I understand, especially having sisters, when you have girls, you have daughters, you wait till all of the information comes out so you can make an intelligent decision. But I do know this. What started out as Deshaun Watson saying that he wanted to be traded from the Houston Texans and call out the culture and the nature behind the Houston Texans organization has all of a sudden turned to make him the villain in the whole situation. And I think part of it is because he was trying to do something that has become common in the NBA that we just saw with James Harden, is force your way out. Nobody has forced their way out of a situation, especially when they just signed a new contract. And I don't think, this is just me, I don't think the NFL likes the fact that he's trying to force himself out of Houston. They don't want to start this so that everybody can follow him.
We don't, because that's what's going to happen. He just signed the contract 6 months ago. That's what's going to happen. So, you know, I think once all this dies down and he's proven innocent, which I'm 100% hopeful that he can be proven innocent, that he just gets back to playing ball and try to win games. I know Will Fuller he signed with the Dolphins.
Right.
That hurt. We did sign some players, but Will Fuller's gone, so now he don't have Hopkins. He don't have Will Fuller.
No.
I mean, the
center is gone. They got rid of Mark.
The center's gone.
Yeah. And think about it. Yeah, it's a different day. And speaking of trades as well, Texans traded Bernardrick McKinney, which we knew was going to happen, for Shaq Lawson. So he's also in Miami now. So Brandon Scarlett, starting linebacker last year, he just signed with Miami as well. So you see these guys have signed these contracts, and it's like, okay, the Miami Dolphins have become the Houston Texans as far as trade. And you talked about the Texans. We signed so many players, G-Man, this past week that the roster has turned over. He's already signed over 20 players to the team. I can't keep up with it. Tyrod Taylor is also now probably going to be a starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. There's too many players on here that we've signed that shortly. But what do you think about all these changes?
Honestly, I'm a big Deshaun Watson fan. I think we should have kept the team together with Hopkins and Watt, and I wish Carlos Hyde would have never left. Now he's signed with Jacksonville, or but if Deshaun Watson stays, man, I think we'll be okay. We may not win as many games. We got to rebuild, but if he leaves, I mean, it's going to be a total train wreck. That's what I call it. I like Tyrod Taylor as a backup. I know they signed him because he's Deshaun Watson-like, I guess, mobile quarterback, can do, but he's not Deshaun Watson. And I've seen him play. I've seen him play with the Chargers. I've seen him play with the Bills. I've seen him play with I've seen him. He's not Deshaun Watson, but we have to have some kind of a contingency plan just in case DW4 is not going to be here, which I'm hoping and praying to the gods that he's going to be here.
You better pray hard. They just did a trade with Cincinnati for one of their backup quarterbacks, Ryan Finley, I believe is his name. They just traded for him, so he's a part of this team. It says when you ever stand up to power, they come for you. You're right about that. When you stand up to power, you definitely better be ready for the retaliation that's coming back on the other side. Because how does he go, Deshaun Watson that is, from a man asking for a trade because he wants to see the culture change to all of a sudden becoming the villain?
I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. Not until I see the facts in court and they say, yes, what happened? I don't buy it, brother. I'm behind DW4 all the way. Like I said, I'm going to lefties to give me a cheesesteak, and I'm going to say, that's for DW4 right there.
Listen, another quarterback that made an impact finally brought a Super Bowl to New Orleans. I didn't think they were going to ever win a Super Bowl. They did the Benson Boogie back in the days. They had the umbrellas opening inside of the Superdome. And finally, Drew Brees comes to town and was able to win a Super Bowl for them. He announced that he is retiring from the league at 42 years old. What a great career.
I thought he had one more year left in him. I think for my Saints fans out there, if you really think about it, bro, last 4 years came down to almost the last couple of plays of the game. They could have been in the Super Bowl. Last year, I mean, they lost to Tampa Bay. They had them beat. If it wasn't for the interception and the fumble towards the end of the game, and then the year before that was with
Minnesota.
Well,
Yeah.
no, the year before that was the non-pass interference call against not the Rams, the team they lost to. And then the 2 years before that was the Rams pass interference. And then 3 years before that was the Minnesota Vikings game. So the last 4 years, the Saints should have at least won one more Super Bowl in the last 4 years. I truly believe they should have won one. I think should have came back for one more year. But, hey, good for him. He's got young kids,
Yeah, hey, I think,
lungs, he had punctured lungs. He had, I know the NFL is a hard sport. It's like getting in a car crash 30 times a day, in one game. So I don't blame him for retiring, but the fan in me would want to see him go one more year.
Yeah, he was the leader in career completions and yards passing, and announced his retirement at age 42. And my thing with him was he couldn't throw the ball 40 yards anymore. Couldn't really throw the ball 30. Everything was underneath for him. So, it comes a time when you kind of realize, like Peyton Manning did, when that arm can't deliver like it used to, I think it's a great time to step away. I knew he felt with them having, home field advantage in the playoffs, that would be the great opportunity for them to go to the Super Bowl, that he could go out on top. But it just wasn't in the card. Now, Tom Brady is somebody totally different. So that's a whole nother monster. But congratulations on a great career and finally bringing the Super Bowl to New Orleans. Of course, they did the restructured contract with Tyson Hill, who is going to be the next starting quarterback for the Saints. And I don't think they're going to do anything else for a while. Let's get to this AFC North talk. Things are changing in the AFC North. You and I went on the Cleveland station and we talked about the Browns. They just made a big deal today, signing cornerback Troy Hill and adding pro safety John Johnson III, who was a part of the Rams organization, a big-time safety. So they need some more defensive help on the line. They're looking to sign 2 other free agents as well on the defensive line to make their teams big. Listen, I'm making my predictions early. I'm going with the Browns next year. We don't need Odell back for the Browns. I'm rolling with the Browns. Baker Mayfield.
Browns should be back in it again. I know Big Ben signed back. They lost to the Browns in the playoffs. But you got to go with the Brownies, man. They got the squad, OBJ or not, they got the squad to do it. So I can't wait. I know the draft is coming up. We'll find out the schedule pretty soon, and then it's go time. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah. Do you think the Browns need Odell? I like with the Ravens, when they have Lamar Jackson, they have a chance to win. But do you think Odell, because he went out this year, of course, with an injury, and they were able to get to the playoffs?
Hey, make no mistake about it, man. Odell is still a top-notch receiver, man. I think he bring it to anybody, any team. He's an asset. But I do think that they would win with Jarvis Landry and OBJ. You got a good, receiving core right there. But if he goes to the Ravens, then you got Lamar Jackson. You got that threat of him running, and then Odell running across the middle, and him drop. There's so much to do with a running quarterback and a talent like Odell.
I think one of the issues that they had with Odell was the fact that they leaned toward him a lot in the passing game. They throw the ball toward him a lot, and sometimes you take away from Jarvis Landry, you take away from Kareem Hunt, you take away from the tight ends, you take away, from the spreading the ball around. That was one of the things, remember, they tried to say about Hopkins here with Watson. It was like Hopkins depends Watson depends on Hopkins so much, so we need to spread the ball around. We need to get him to see the field greater, and I think the same thing happened in Cleveland with Odell, but when he got injured, it seemed to open up the Cleveland offense, and man, they made great strides. Once they beat the Steelers, I was like, man, they got a chance to really make some noise. Never did I think they would beat Kansas City, but I thought that they could make a major impact. So I'm looking forward to it. You got Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow will be back, of course, in Cincinnati, and of course you got Big Ben down with the Steelers, even though he lost. Pouncey retired, and then, of course, his left tackle is a free agent as well. So Big Ben got some issues in the Steelers, but Mike Tomlin, he always brings the Steelers back in a major way. Somehow they find a way, but I'm going with Cleveland. Man, bro, this has been fun. Another overtime edition. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Every Friday from 6 till 6:30. Spread the word, share this video, like it, and continue to comment with us on the Overtime Show. G-Man, how can they keep up with you, man?
Hey, look, I tell you every week, man, G-Man979 on IG. That's Instagram. G-Man979 on TikTok. I do my little TikTok video. I don't do the busted dance. I do the TikTok. Also, G-Man979 on Twitter. G-Man Guerrero on Facebook. G-Man979 on Tinder. G-Man979 on Christian Mingle. And G-Man 979 on OnlyFans. I got a new video coming up on OnlyFans. You want to watch? You don't want to miss that.
Are you really on Kristen Mingle, man?
I'm on what's the other one too? Sally Madison. Is that Ashley Madison? Yeah, I'm on that one. That's the one where married people hook up with married people. I'm on that one too. So I'm trying to get it all in.
Listen, hey, follow me at Faith and Fame with AB. I'm on all the stuff except the nasty stuff that G-Man is on. You can find me, Faith and Fame with AB on Majic 102.1 weekdays during the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. And then, of course, Saturdays from 4 to 8. And then Sunday with the Happy Hour mix, inspiration and R&B from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Man, University of Houston women basketball team just lost 71-63 to San Francisco. So congratulations to the Lady Cougars on the season, even though they came up short. And before we get out of here, I got to get your opinion on this real quick. AJ Green to the Cardinals.
Ooh, man.
Does he have anything left?
I think he does. Larry Fitzgerald's going to come back. I think he's going to do one more year. You're going to have Fitzgerald. You're going to have Hopkins, AJ Green. I mean, Kyler Murray. I mean, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Now, I can't see them get to the Super Bowl just yet, but I think they're going to make some noise.
They ain't going to do nothing.
Oh, my God.
I give them 10-6 and go home in the first round.
Well, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs.
Because when you got that spirit of J.J. Watt and you got that spirit of Hopkins on your team, that spirit of losing after the first round with the Texans is on them. So they're going to make it to the second round and go home. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us. You have a great night. Go Texans. Go Rockets. Go Cougars. Come on, H-Town. Let's bring it home. Thank you for being a part of the Time Show.
TSU as well. TSU.
We're going to win it, baby.
All right, so be safe.